And for that, first you need to understand what is static and what is dynamic. Actually, static page and dynamic page and difference. You have to technically understand the concept of static and dynamic. See, actually, the term static and dynamic are related to memory. They are related to memory. The terms static and dynamic are related to memory. Generally, so the memory comprises of two options. We have static memory, we have static, and we have dynamic memory. Dynamic memory. So the words, the terms static and dynamic represents memory actually. What is difference is, point is, static is called as continuous memory. Continuous memory. And dynamic is called as discrete memory. Discrete memory. I will explain that point actually. Static is known as continuous memory and dynamic is discrete memory. Discrete memory or disconnected memory. So, what is the meaning of a static page and a dynamic page? Actually, static means it will be same across any number of requests. It will be same across any number of requests. That means, see, static page contains, so technically it contains same information to display across any number of requests. Static page contains same information to display across any number of requests. And dynamic page, I will show you that. Dynamic page, actually, it contains information that can change according to the client request. So that means it can customize the content according to client request. I will show you that point. That is what actually dynamic page is. That means static page contains same information to display across any number of requests. For example, suppose you see I opened some website, some tutorial point, that is the website. Now, when I open this website, I got the screen. Now tell me, is this the same screen for everyone who opens this website? What do you say? Is this the same screen displayed for everyone? Whoever opens the website is the same screen? Yes. That means for everyone, it will be same. So this is a static page. This is a static page. This is a static page. Usually, static page, it will have extension .html or .htm. What is difference? I will tell you. It have same information to display. Dynamic page is not like that. For example, see, I opened some W3 schools and I opened some learn HTML, something. Now you see here, is this page same for everyone? What do you say? Is this page same for everyone? When anybody goes to HTML, is this page same for it? It is same for everyone, but it is same for everyone. But observe here, I can do some modification into this. You see, the same will show for everyone, but I can do some modification. So left side, I am doing some modification and I submit it. It will get according to my request. That means it initially looks same, but is it responding same to everyone? What do you say? Is it responding same to everyone? It may look same, but is it responding same to everyone? No, it will change. Then it is not a static page. Then it is not a static page. It is a dynamic page. Usually dynamic pages, so will have extension. Dynamic page, it will have extension like .jsp, .asp, .php, .aspx, like that. Dynamic pages will have extension, depends on the technology that is being used. You can observe that. So this is an .asp. At the top, you can see in the URL, it is ASP. So that means it is the dynamic page. It's not a static page. When you look at the tutorials point, you can see that it is HTML. It is a static page. It's not a dynamic page. So technically, the static page contains same information to display across any number of requests. It will display the same information to display across any number of requests. That is the static page. Dynamic page will change according to the request. For example, suppose we opened some website. Let's open a website here and see some IRCTC. I open this IRCTC, and in this IRCTC, okay, railway reservation, I opened this IRCTC. Now here in this IRCTC, observe here, you got a page here. Is this the same page for everyone? What do you say? Is it a dynamic page or static page? Is it a dynamic page or static page? What do you say? Think, is it a static page or a dynamic page? Remember, it will look same for everyone, but will it respond same for everyone? Will it respond same for everyone? Will it respond same for everyone? Then how it becomes a static page? What do you say? It's not a static page. It's not a static page. So what you have to keep in your mind is, don't go on how it is displayed initially. So whether it can respond according to request or not, that is important for us. So whether it can respond according to the request or not, it is important. That means how it looks is not the point. I hope you got a little bit sense about thinking about it, right? How it looks is not the point. How it responds is the point. Understood? So that means whether it is responding same to everyone, then it is a static page. So then it is a static page. If it is responding different according to the request, then it is a dynamic page. It is a dynamic page. So that is static and dynamic page. And usually static pages and dynamic pages, if both are present, then it is a web application. Dynamic pages, we need server side technology. So that means dynamic pages require server side technology for configuring functionality. But remember, HTML is used for both of them. HTML is used for both of them. That means HTML is used to design both static and dynamic pages, because sometimes people have a wrong idea. Generally, sometimes people will tell you, or you will come to a conclusion that HTML is used for designing static pages. Many people will tell you that point. It's wrong. HTML is used for designing both static pages and dynamic pages, because HTML, what is HTML detailedly, I will tell you now. We will discuss about that. HTML is used for presentation, and presentation is required in both static pages and dynamic pages. Additionally, dynamic pages have server-side interactions also. They generate a response for the request, process the request. That functionality is given with server-side technologies. But designing, remember, the dynamic page is also designed. I open IRCTC. The dynamic page is also designed with HTML only. Design with HTML, but it needs functionality server side, which is written with server side technologies. So don't ever come to a conclusion that HTML is used for only static pages. HTML is a language which is used for both static and dynamic pages. So static pages, dynamic pages requires HTML. That's the reason people who are learning Java, .NET, PHP, Python, they also require good knowledge of HTML, because the presentation they have to design with HTML only. In addition to that, they will give the functionality also. So basically, you need to understand the difference between these two. What is a static page and what is dynamic page? Dynamic page, static page may look same initially for everyone, but dynamic page can change its content according to the request. So static page cannot. Static page will have same information across any number of requests. So how to identify whether it is static or dynamic page? Later, several more concepts you will understand. Initially, static pages have extension .html or HTML. What is difference between those two extensions? I will tell you when we start working with HTML now. So dynamic page can be with the JSP, PHP, ASP. You saw that already. So when I showed you this W3 schools, You select some HTML, you see it is an ASP file. It's a dynamic page. It is a dynamic page. So this is only the concept you need to understand initially. What is difference between static page and dynamic page? I hope everyone is clear with this point, right? Yeah, I hope everyone is clear. What is a static and a dynamic page? Now, HTML is used for designing both static pages and dynamic pages. It is used for designing both static and dynamic pages. So we will see how to work with HTML, how we can deal with HTML and all. We are going to see now. So now we are clear with two important concepts as a web developer. So first we understood what is difference between website and web application. Website and web application. So actually, I hope now you will get to a conclusion. Website comprises of all static resources. Web application comprises of both static and dynamic resources. It contains both static and dynamic resources. Internally, so much meaning is there. I will show you that point. So website comprises of only static resources. These days, we cannot see only websites because majority everyone is building a web application, because even a simple searching, filtering, sorting like options are present, login, registration like options are present, then it is not called as a website anymore. We call it as a web application. So on internet, we have both websites and web application. And we are going to learn both websites and web applications. But for a web application, we need backend technologies also. So that is static pages and dynamic pages, and difference between website and web application. And second point, what is difference between static and a dynamic page? Dynamic page. What is the difference between static and dynamic page? Already given you the definition now. So these are the important terms you need to understand. And the answer I given already here. So the static pages, dynamic pages. So we need to know the difference between the static and dynamic. So let's keep this question here. So the static pages and the dynamic pages, you need to understand the difference between them. What is difference between static and dynamic page? Now, next, when you are learning web development, you need to understand some more important terms, important terminology, some more important terms. So we need to know the web terminology. In the web terminology, you have to know what is a blog. What is a blog? How blogs are different from website? Because remember, generally, web development means not building a website every time. It is a combination of so many things. As a web developer, you should know that website designing is not, means web development is not only website. You have websites, we have web applications, we have blogs also. We need to design blogs. Actually, the term blog is derived from weblog. weblog. In short, we call it as blog. In short, we call as blog. Weblog. That means actually weblog is blog, we call as blog. Actually, blogs are like journals on internet. Usually published and maintained by individual users. Blogs are like journals on internet, usually maintained and published by individual users. I will tell you one simple example. For example, suppose I will just give you a small point. What is a blog? Suppose you want to join a course in Naresh IT. So you want to join a course so related to certain software technology. Then what you do is you visit the website here. You see nareshit.com. You visit this website and you look for what courses they are offering. You look for the content of that particular course. That means you see the courses, you can go to the list, you can select the course, so you can see what are the topics, so what are the contents inside this. Everything information will be there. Curriculum and everything information will be there. So you can see here all the information. Now the point is here, after you joined a course in this Naresh IT, now will you visit this website every day regularly? After joining a course, you started learning the course. So will you visit this website regularly, daily? You will keep in touch with this website daily? I don't need daily. So just we don't need very daily, because just we need to know the change, new batches are starting, any new batch is starting. Whenever we want, we need to open and see it. Then once you joined this institute for a particular course, now what you do is generally you follow the blog. Generally, you follow the blog of your faculty. The blog of your faculty. That means every faculty will have a blog. In that blog, he will be keep on posting topics. That means everyday topics. Everyday topics he will be keep on posting. The discussion happening, the comments happening. Now these days, you will not see much blogs very regularly. Instead of these blogs, people are using Facebook groups and pages. Am I right? They are using Facebook groups and pages. So that means they maintain a Facebook group, they maintain a Instagram group or WhatsApp group, and there the topics, the discussions, everything happening. So, but blogs are specially designed for this purpose. Generally, a blog is used for maintaining the details of an individual user so that he can post his updates regularly, and you can follow him and you can get the information related to any concept so regularly. You can subscribe. These days, we call these as blogs. Actually, the popular websites, like we have blogger.com. Blogs are free. You don't need to purchase. You can create blogs for free. Websites are not free. You have to purchase, you have to buy, you have to create. Blogs are free and easy to design. You see blogger.com. This is the blog. Here in this Blogger, you can create a blog. People these days, we are not using these blogs very regularly. These days, very popular are vlogs. Vlogs are very popular these days. They are video logs. Video logs. That is nothing but YouTube channel. Am I right? YouTube channel. That means now people are making money with these blogs, YouTube channels. They are now video logs. Earlier, these blogs were very popular. Earlier, these blogs were very popular. But after YouTube started channels, then now the channels are becoming very popular. We call them as video logs actually. Now everybody maintains a YouTube channel. He posts some videos on that. You subscribe to that. Do you know? So for maintaining a blog or for maintaining a video log or a YouTube channel, like, so Google pays you for that. Do you know that? Right? People are making money with that. People are making money with that. So that means these blogs are free. You can get it free and you can earn money with these blogs. If you put good information, if many people are visiting this regularly, then Google will put advertisements and for that they pay you. So now we have more advanced than these blogs. We call them as video logs, vlogs. So vlog is nothing but actually YouTube channel. So many times people come and ask this question. Generally, people say that I want a blog for myself. Can you design a blog for me? You are a web developer. I don't want a website. So because I am not doing any business like for a website, I just need a blog. So that in that blog, I want to post my regular updates and some content so that people who subscribe to me can watch it and use it. That means web designing is not all about designing a website or a web application. We have websites, we have web applications. Websites, web applications. We have blogs also. And usually example of this blog is means how to create the blogs. You can get from blogger.com. So you can create a blog. It's free to create the blogs and work with the blogs. So as a web developer, you should know websites, web applications, and blogs. So how to design them, we are going to learn. We are going to work and we are going to see. So technically, now another important is in web development, you have, so what is a wiki? Wiki. On internet, we have websites, web applications, blogs, and wiki also. Actually, the term wiki means quick. So it is a Hawaiian word, Hawaiian term. It is an Hawaiian term. That means, so Hawaii term. It is an Hawaiian term, which means quick. Actually, you might have heard about Wikipedia. So you might have heard about Wikipedia. Hawaii means you should have at least general knowledge also, right? Hawaii is an location. Hawaii is a location. You don't know that locations. Huh? Hawaii Islands, you haven't heard about them. Huh? No. It's okay. That's your level of knowledge you are having. Hawaiian Islands are there. Hawaiian language is spoken there. In Hawaiian language, it is called wiki, actually. That's a general knowledge, not software knowledge. Okay, right. You might have seen this Wikipedia. Actually, you know Wikipedia, and generally why it is called as Wikipedia. What is the meaning of this? Actually, Wikipedia is nothing but a quick reference for encyclopedia. A quick reference for encyclopedia. It is a quick reference for encyclopedia. Wikipedia. But not only that concept, actually, Wiki allows any user to edit its content. That is the speciality of Wiki. That means you have to design wikis also on internet. It's not like only website, web application, blogs. On internet, we have wikis. Wiki means quick. I will show one example. For example, see, you have Wikipedia. Suppose I open Naresh IT, nareshit.com. In this nareshit.com, I went to courses and I selected some course, Oracle. And in that course, some contents are given. Can I make any change in these topics? What do you say? Can I add any new point into that? Can we make any change into the topics? So we cannot make any change into the topics, but observe carefully. If you go to Wikipedia, and I am searching for some JavaScript, and it shows some information about JavaScript in Wikipedia, and observe carefully, right side, there is an edit button. You can go to edit this page. And if you know anything better than what they already written, you can make changes into it. That means it is allowing to make changes into the content. We call it as wiki. What is difference between a general web application and wiki? Wiki allows any user to edit its content, to contribute to it. This is not possible for websites and general web applications. That is why they are called as wiki. Not only Wikipedia. For example, suppose you see IMDb. So I hope you know majority of people IMDb. IMDb is a movie database. And you see in this IMDb website, movies worldwide, movies related, all the information is present. So that means Oscars related, every update, every movie international ratings will be there inside this. Now what happens is, when you open any movie detail here, usually when you open the movie detail, it will get the movie information here. And you see the cast and crew related information will be displayed there, storyline. And see, there is an edit option. That means if you know the story and you know better than already what they have written there, then you can edit, you can make changes into it. But remember, after you make changes, there will be a review team for them. That review team will check what changes you have made. And if they are appropriate, then they think that they are good, then they will update. And for that, they will give you the credits that this person has contributed these details. These are called wikis. You see, here we have edit option. If there is a mistake in release date, if there is a mistake in the other details, you can make changes into it. Every website will not allow like that. If a website is allowing you to change its content, that means it is not a website anymore. We should call it as a wiki. So example for this wiki. So you have like Wikipedia, you have like IMDb. Do you know Google Maps also is a wiki? So in Google Maps, I hope many people know that you can write reviews, you can pin the locations, you can name the unnamed locations, you can upload the photos for that location if it is not available. Am I right? I hope you have seen that. So this is wiki. So technically that is wiki. And very important is, technically it doesn't means that everybody can make change into it, and whatever changes they do, it will update. Of course, you have that general sense that there will be some team who will review the content. Obviously there will be that means even you make the changes, first they will verify as the changes according to requirement or not. Then they will allow the changes if they are appropriate. That's what we call as wikis. So we have wikis, we have blogs, we have web applications, we have websites. So that is the reason web designing is very complex. Remember, web designing is not hard. Web designing is easy, but very complex. Complex means client wants different, client have different requirements. Sometimes he wants a wiki, sometimes he wants a blog, sometimes he wants a blog and a website, sometimes he wants a application. You must able to design all of them. Then first you should know what they are. Without knowing what they are, you cannot build them. You should know how the behavior of blog is. You should know how the behavior of wiki is. These are all very important. So we have wikis, we have blogs, we have this. Another important, you need to know what is podcasting. Podcasting. What is podcasting? You have to know, so what is podcasting? On internet, podcasting is also very important. Actually, so the term pod refers to media content. That means audio and video. Audio video content. It refers to audio and video. The term pod refers to audio and video, media content actually. So that means podcasting is the process of broadcasting media onto other devices. I will tell you one point. Means what is the example for this podcasting? Actually, podcasting, so many are there. Best example is actually YouTube. So YouTube, I hope you people know that. So you can open YouTube on your laptop or on your mobile or desktop, anywhere. When you open YouTube on your mobile, do you know the YouTube video that you are currently watching on your mobile, you can broadcast onto a smart TV. Do you know that you can broadcast onto smart TV that video? If you have a smart TV, so you can broadcast that video onto that smart TV. You can watch on your mobile and you can broadcast onto that smart TV. That means it allows you to connect with a Wi-Fi device, and you can even watch it. I am not saying that open YouTube on TV. I am saying that YouTube videos can be broadcasted on TV. Am I right? I hope you observed that. You know this point. Not only that. So not only YouTube. Suppose you have so many, like iTunes. iTunes is a podcaster. So you have like Windows Media Player. Windows Media Player is a podcaster. So like you have several websites like these days, Spotify. So Spotify, what is that? Songs related Spotify, right? Spotify, right? So this Spotify, so this Spotify is this Spotify is also a podcaster. You see, it says that podcasts. It says that podcasts. It is a podcaster. It is a podcaster. That means you can listen to the songs on the device, or you can broadcast to some other device. That means, for example, I hope you know that you are listening to a song on your mobile, and if you are connected to Bluetooth, then this song will be podcasted to the Bluetooth device so that you can hear from the Bluetooth. I hope you know that. This is podcasting. And these days, audio, video streaming, they require podcasting like concept. Designing such podcasting is very complex. Designing the podcasting is very complex. We need to know that podcasting. Technically, so this is podcasters. These are podcasters. So web designing is not so simple. Web designing is very complex. So at experience level, you will able to work with all these types. So generally, for podcasting, for wikis, so many technologies need to be additionally added, and so many third parties need to be integrated. Then we can build applications. Actually, configuring, creating, and working with applications in web requires the knowledge of all this. So many are there. I hope you people are clear in understanding website, web application, blog, wiki, podcasting. Are you clear? You understood the differences between them? Everyone, right? That means web designing is not designing a just website. Web designing is about a lot of things. Now we have another important. What is widget? What is a widget? Widgets are nothing but gadget for web applications. Gadget for web application means these are also interesting. That means we call them as widgets actually. For example, see, I opened Google. Now I searched here currency converter in Google. You see, automatically a currency converter came. Now see, a currency converter application came here. Along with the results, a small application is integrated here. A small application is embedded here. You see, the small application is embedded here. This small application is embedded here. Along with the other contents, it is embedded there. This is called as, we call this as widget. Actually, such widgets are designed by using jQuery like library. Generally, majority we use jQuery for designing such widgets in real time. So you will learn jQuery and you will learn such widgets, how to use them, how we can work with them. Not only that, this is widget. So this is widget. Not only that, suppose you open websites like HDFC Bank. When I open HDFC Bank website, in this website, you can see some EMI calculator is there. And it calculates the loan EMI. And you select the loan amount, tenure in years, and interest rate, calculate, it will get the interest and display. This is called widget. We call them as gadgets. Generally, if you are building a website for a hospital or for a bank or for any business, those people ask you that in my website, I need a widget so that clients can calculate and see before approaching us. So clients can check what they want before. You see, hospital websites, you will find a BMI calculator, body mass calculator, BMI calculator. So technically, these are called widgets, gadgets. Later you will learn jQuery. I will show you later. You see jQuery. jQuery is used for designing such widgets. You observe here, you have a widget category. You have a widget category. You see, it says that we have new widgets for you. As a developer, we have to build such widgets. We have to use such widgets in our websites for handling various types of business and all. So technically, these are all called gadgets. These are widgets actually. So generally, widget is nothing but, so a widget is a small application tool integrated into web page. A small application tool integrated into a web page to handle various types of interactions. To handle various types of interactions, they are defined. Example, we have like EMI calculator. We have like currency converter. So we have like BMI calculator. All this comes under widgets, gadgets. So in web designing, you need to develop so many widgets also. We need to understand widgets. Next important, you need to know what is a web browser. I hope everybody know. I don't need to explain. So actually, web browser is a software tool. It is a software tool used to access websites, applications, blogs, etc. on client machine, on client computer, or you say client device, client computer or client device, we can access that. And you know the popular browsers like Chrome, like Edge, like Firefox, like Internet Explorer, all Safari, all these are browsers. Generally, browser is a software tool. Yeah, so many are there. So software tool which is used for accessing and opening the websites on our application, on our device, on our computer. That is a browser. Another important is what is web debugger. What is web debugger? Technically, what is a web debugger? Actually, web debugger is a software tool used to debug the web pages. Debugging is nothing but debugging is the process of identifying the bugs. Bugs are nothing but issues in page and reporting and resolving them. For that we need debuggers. For example, you can see actually every browser have a debugger. 1 second. Okay, so every browser have a debugger. You can open by using the inspect element option. Inspect element. So inspect elements by using inspect elements, or simply you see you open here some website, Google. I want to know the logic behind it, the code behind it. You cannot know the server side code, client side. You can just right click and you can select inspect. When you select inspect, it opens the debugger. This is called debugger. This debugger will show what is the code written for presentation. Is it having any errors? There is a console. Console shows is there any problems, any warnings, any errors. You are going to learn about that while learning HTML, JavaScript and all step by step. I will tell you how to use this debugger. This is called debugger. People call as developer tools also. You can open these developer tools. Every browser have a developer tool. You can open these developer tools with a right click. So right click and you can simply select inspect. It will open the developer tools and you can see every browser have. Not only that, we have some advanced debuggers also. Not only that, we have some advanced debuggers. So we have some advanced debuggers. Means not only every browser's debugger, you can actually also use the debuggers like Firebug. So you have debuggers like Firebug related to Firefox. So we have Fiddler. So we have like Postman. All these are the debuggers. You can see so many debuggers will be there. But as of now, at the learning level, basically, general debuggers are enough. But general debuggers are enough. That means your browser debugger is enough. But at high level, you need more debuggers like Fiddler and Postman. For example, in my computer, I have some like Fiddler. Yeah, I have like Fiddler. So Fiddler, I need to install that. Okay, I have Postman. Yeah, this is a debugger. This is a web debugger. So we have to use these debugging tools to identify the problems in the page, identify what it is returning, how it is returning, how it is performing, how much time it is taking. All such things we have to verify. You see, this is a debugger. Like that, we have so many debuggers. Every browser have a debugger. By using the debuggers, we can handle various interactions. Later, you will learn how to use these debuggers. While learning HTML, while learning JavaScript, everywhere you will see these debuggers. I will tell you step by step how to debug, how to identify, and how to handle that. So we need web debuggers also. And every browser have a web debugger. You can open with right click, simple right click, you can open the debugger. Next important, you need to know what is URL. What is URL and URI? What is URL and URI? Actually, URL, uniform resource locator. So uniform resource identifier. Actually, URL is nothing but, so URL is nothing but we can technically call as, so it is a virtual path. It is a virtual path used to access the resources from a website or application or blog or anywhere. It is a virtual path used to access the resources from a website or application. We call as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Uniform Resource Locator. Actually, technically, one more important point you should know is, it is the virtual path. URL is the virtual path. What is this URI? Uniform Resource Identifier. We need to know the difference. Actually, URL is a virtual path. URL is a virtual path. URI is an identifier in the path. What is an identifier in the path? I will show you. You will understand that. See, observe here. Suppose I have a web page. Don't worry about what code I am writing. Just observe the concept. You don't need to worry about what code I am writing. Just see the concept. Suppose I am writing some paragraphs. So some information is there, some paragraphs of option I am defining here. Actually, copy this. Yeah. Now we have some paragraph information is there, and so some paragraphs information is there. So I'm adding some paragraphs of information here. Okay, some paragraphs of information there. So that means a lot of paragraphs of information is present. Now, actually, so currently, which page we are watching? So this is URL. Actually, this is the URL. That means URL will be like this. So URL will be like this. So it will be like http://www.amazon.in. This is URL. We call this as URL. What is URI? URI. Observe carefully here. Suppose I have some headings. Here somewhere I have a heading. Don't worry about what the code I am writing. Now don't ask, sir, what is H3, what is P? These are later we are going to learn. Just observe the concept, okay? This heading is having mobile and I given as mobiles. Okay, I have another heading, that ID is some footwear and say footwear. Generally, you have a lot of topics in this page. When I scroll down, I can go to the topic here. You can see the topics will be there. So mobiles, after that footwear, like that. You observe carefully, instead of scrolling with my scroll bar, at the top, I can simply type after index.html hash, and I will type as mobiles and hit enter. It will mobile, and it will take me to that location. And I will type here as footwear. It will take me to that footwear location. That means now if you see like this, that means http://www.amazon.in/electronics.html. Just example I am telling. Now, if you are writing like this, then actually this is URL. That's okay. But HTTP here, // what is HTTP? I will tell you. We will discuss that in amazon.in/electronics.html hash mobiles. That means in that page what you are watching. This is which page you are watching. I am watching electronics page. In that page what you are watching, that is called URI. This is called URI. That means URI is nothing but only this part is called URI. This part is called URI. That means in that page, which part you are watching, which location you are currently in, this indicates the URI. We call that as URI. So you have uniform resource locator and we have uniform resource identifier. Uniform resource identifier. Technically, so uniform resource locator and uniform resource identifier. Identifier indicates in that page where you are. Taking you to a page is URL. Taking you to a location inside the page, that is URI. URI. I hope everyone is clear, understood? Taking to a particular page, that is URL. And taking you to a location inside that particular page, that is called URI. I hope everyone understood the difference, right? Because these days in interviews, very regularly, this question comes because many people don't know URI. Many people just know about URL. Many people don't know about URI. And these days, these URIs are very complex, little bit different. You will see http://.amazon.in /electronics/mobile like this. You will not even see the page names. You will not see HTML, JSP, PHP. These days websites are showing in this way. This technique is called as actually routing. We call this mechanism as routing. Now these days several technologies are implementing this routing technique. Due to that, you cannot even see the page name. You can just know the locations names easily. It is easy for accessing any details also. But not every website. So you observe here, suppose I opened Amazon, and when I select electronics, you can see it opens electronics ///. There is nothing like any page name .html, .asp. But when you observe W3 schools or some websites, and you see they give the page name .jsp, .php. So that is not there in the latest now. In the latest, we are not using this. So in the latest, we are just going and working with this technique called routing. Due to that, the URLs will be more clean. So, and we have to learn so much about this URL. That means actually in this URL and URI, lot of parts are there. You need to understand that. That means what are the parts in the URL and URL? Suppose here we have http://www.amazon.in/electronics.html. So in that, so we have a question mark. So, and we have like category is equal to mobiles, something like this we have. Actually, URLs will be little bit complex. It will be something like this. You can observe that this entire is called we call this entire part we call this as URL. And now important is whatever present after this question mark, if anything is there with the question mark and whatever present with the question mark, this is called query string. We call as query string. Query string is used to query a content inside this particular page. That means in an electronics page, you are querying category mobiles. That is what we call as query string. We can have such query strings. And this is HTTP. So this is called, you know that this, I will tell you detailedly in the points. This is called protocol. We call this as protocol. And this Amazon.in, this part we call this as, this part is called as Amazon.in. Only that part is called as domain. And this electronics.html, so in some other folder it may be there. This is the path, that is the path and page. So path name, that is the path name. That means it is accessing which page, that is the path name configured. So this is URL, and inside the URL so many parts are present. So we have the protocol, we have the protocol, we have the domain name, we have the path name, we have the query string. Not every time. So there are so many other points also. I will show you. So this is one point. This is one example. Not only that, sometimes you have the options like this. That means you have something. So here, when you are working practically, you will have like 127.0.0 http:// so 127.0.0.1 some 5500 so and slash some electronics, or say some index dot, or say some public, in that index.html, like this it will be there. Generally means different situations I am explaining, we will learn about all of them. So this is okay. We call this as protocol. What is a protocol? We are going to learn. This is protocol. And this is called IP address. This is the IP address. That means actually this is called technically host. Host can be two types actually. Host can be two types. Generally host can be, so usually host can be server name. So it can be server name, or it can be IP address. It can be IP address. Currently it is IP address. It can be server name. Server name will be like, so local host, that is the server name. Later we are going to see about them detailedly. And this is called 5500. That part is called port number. We call this as port number. What is the port number? We will discuss all these points step by step. And this public, in the public index.html, this is called path name as usual. We call this as path name. So this is technically how you can manage. Means the URL, how it looks like. What is the meaning of the port number, protocol, so path name, so host, what is difference between them? What is domain? These are all the technical terms you need to understand now. In order to start working with this practically, now you need to explore this and know this detailedly. What is protocol, what is domain, and what is port number, what is host, what is the query strings. These are the concepts we need to learn now. Then we are ready to start practically working with that we will see in our next session. So tomorrow we will continue. So in tomorrow's session, I will explain